Hey Secondary 1 Math Projects, this is Coach Saiful with your daily dose of math mastery, and today we're going to go into question number 3 of your assessment paper number 4. So, let's take a look at the questions. This one looked a bit tougher than usual. So it says this. Okay, I've got the questions on my handy dandy notebook. Okay, so let's take a look at the questions immediately. Let's see how do we do this. Now, for part number 1, it's similar to the concept that I taught you yesterday, which is actually what? Square root. Yesterday I said square root 9, the whole is equals to square root 3 times 3. And square root basically says that you just remove one part of it. Okay, and when you square root it, the square root gone as well, and then you get the answer, which is 3. And I said square root 9, the whole thing squared, will give you what? Basically, when you square a square root, you basically get the root, and the root is actually 9. So the answer is 9. So today I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about why that is. Basically, a square root is actually equivalent to a power half. Okay, power half. So for example, square root 9 is the same as 9 power half, and therefore 9 is equals to what? It's equals to 3 squared times power half. Now 2 times half gives you 1. Therefore the answer is 3 power 1, which is actually equal to 3. Therefore square root 9 is actually equals to 3, which is correct. Okay, so another example, if let's say we have square root 9, the whole thing squared. Square root 9, whole thing squared, like I told you here. Basically, when you square a square root, you get the root, and the answer is 9, right? So in this case, I'm going to prove to you. Square root 9, the whole thing squared is actually equals to, from here we will actually make 9 power half, the whole thing power 2. Okay, so in this case we have 3 squared power half, the whole thing power 2. Therefore we get, cancel, we get 3 squared, and hence we get the answer of 9. Okay, with that in mind, what we can do now is part 1. Okay, so part 1 basically says square root 25 x squared y power 4 is divided by 25 x cubed y squared. What do you get? Okay, so let's do this very quickly. For part 1, so square root, you can actually break it down into three things. Square root 25 times square root x squared times square root y power 4. Okay, in this case, divided by 25x cubed y squared. Okay, and therefore, square root 25 gives you 5. Now, how do we get x squared square root? Okay, basically, if, like I told you before, it's simply power half. Therefore, x squared power half will give you what? Give you x power 1. Yeah, correct. X power 1. Therefore, it's actually x. Now, square root y power 4 basically is y power 4 times half, or divided by 2 if that's easier for you. So you cancel, you have, you have 2. Therefore, y squared divided by 25x cubed y squared. Just copy that down. Now, in this case, basically it's saying 5x y squared divided by 25 x cubed y squared. Now how do we do this? Simple. All we have to do is put it one over the other. Therefore 5xy squared 25x cubed y. You don't actually have to do this, but I want to make it easier for you so that you can actually see very simply. So therefore 5 divided by 25, you get, cancel this, you will have 5 below. X cancel is gone. Now x cubed, therefore we are left with x squared. Y squared and y squared both are gone. Therefore the answer is 1 over 5x squared. Bam! That's the answer. If you got that one right, high five, because you are a math prodigy. Good job. Now for part B, for part 2, it's a part 2, and the part 2 is basically this. And all we have to do is, like I already told you before, when you have something like this, you have to make the bottom or the denominators the same. So in this case, how do we make, what's the common denominator? The common denominator is 6x. Therefore, you have to times what? For this one, times 3. And times what? 2x for this one. Therefore, the answer is actually 3 times 3x minus 1. Okay, plus 4x minus 3 doesn't change. Minus 1 times 2x gives you 2x. And from here, you can just put it all under one roof. See? So from here, you just open up the top one. So you get 3 times 3, 9x, minus 3 plus 4x minus 3 minus 2x over 6x. Therefore, 9x plus 4x gives you 13x, minus 2x gives you 11x. Okay, minus 3 gives you minus 6 over 6x. So now you can break it down further. Therefore, you get 11x. Oh, okay, now question is, why can't we just remove the 6x? Because this is not a solving question. Okay, I mean, this is not a left hand side, right hand side question. 11x over 6x minus 6 over 6x, which gives you what? X cancel, you get 11 over 6 minus, cancel 6 and 6, you get 1 over x. And that is the answer. Bam. Okay, so if you got that one right, high five, because you are a math prodigy. Good job. You can actually change the 11 over 6 if you want to. Actually, you should. Therefore, you get 5 over 6 minus 1 over x. Okay, so bam, that's the answer. So let's do part B now. Now, part B is pretty simple if you can listen to instructions. So they said 2p minus 3q plus 4m. Subtract that from the sum of 3m plus p and 4q minus 6m. Let me just check one more time. Yeah, correct. So subtract these numbers from the sum of this and this. So don't be so scared. Just find the sum first. So 3m plus p plus 4q minus 6m was going to give you what? So you get the sum first, and you will get 3m minus 6m gives you minus 3m. Okay, p and let's see, that's it, plus p plus 4q. That's weird. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the answer for the sum. So subtract this from the sum. From means what? Which one do you minus first? Subtract this from this. Therefore, you actually take minus 3m plus p plus 4q, because they ask you to subtract this from this. In other words, subtract for example, subtract 3 from 9. Therefore, you take 9 minus 3. So subtract this from this will get you this minus. Okay, when you have a minus, then make sure you put a bracket. 2p minus 3q plus 4m. Okay, in this case, minus 3m. Okay, usually if you want to open it up first. Make it simpler for you. Plus 4q. Minus, okay, minus times 2p gives you minus 2p. Minus times minus 3q. In other words, minus 1 times minus 3q gives you plus 3q. Minus 1 times plus 4m gives you minus 4m. And that's the ending. So minus 3m minus 4m gives you minus 7m. Plus p minus 2p gives you minus p. Plus 4q plus 3q gives you plus 7q. So that's the answer. Make it look better. 7q minus 7m. I like to do this. Minus p, and that's the answer. Bam! If you got that one right, high five, because you are a math prodigy. Good job. Okay, which brings us to the most difficult question in this question number 3. Okay, question number 3 is this. So how do we find the value of x over 3y? First off, breathe. Okay, breathe. Let's just see how to do this. Okay, so here you just cross multiply. You bring this over to this side and you bring this over to this side. Let's see what happens first, okay? Don't just assume anything. Let's just see what happens. So here you get 5 times x plus 4y, and here you get 3 times 5x plus y. Therefore you get 5x plus 20y over here. And here you get 15x plus 3y. So what do you have in the end? You bring 3y here, you bring over to the side, it becomes 20 minus 3y, you get 17y, equals to 15x, you bring over 5x, you get 10x. Therefore, you get what? You get y equals to, 17y equals to 10x. Okay, now, how do I do this? So, I want to find x plus 3y, you know. Sorry, x over 3y, you know. So, what can I do? If you said you can simply find x, to find x, basically you're right, because x equals to 17y divided by 10. You get that part first? Basically, this x is actually the same as this x. And when I put 17y over 10 divided by 3y, can I get an answer? Of course I can. So if you answered that one correctly, give yourself a high five, because you are a true math prodigy. Good job for you. And so from here, x divided by 3y. So how do you find x divided by 3y? So basically, if y is equal to 17y over 10, divided by 3y, it basically means what? 17y over 10 times 1 over 3y. So you have y here, you have y over there. Simply you can just cancel the y's and you have 17 over 30. And that is the answer. So if you got that one right, high five, because you are a math prodigy. And look, these questions are pretty difficult, right? And they also take a lot of time of thinking as well as doing. And the answers are worth tons of marks, and therefore good things take time. That's the quotation for the week. I want you to remember that. It's true for math, it's true for life. Use it wisely. And with that, this is Coach Saiful signing off, saying you are a math prodigy. Good job.